Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and thank you for the indulgence, because when the Speaker sits in the chair, he has all wide-ranging powers, and we are happy to share your powers by granting us the opportunity to speak. Right Honourable Speaker, sir, today is Thursday. Hopefully, it is the end of the week for our Parliament. And this could be the last day. As you are aware, you have our petition, wherein we are counting the 14 days. On the order paper, we don't see any item about the censure of the 4 backbench commissioners. And the days are counting. We know we are guided by the rules of procedure of this Honourable House. And once a matter is properly filed and lodged in your good office, would have the courtesy to be told, actually formally through a notice, that this matter is coming up for debate on this day, but must be within the 14 days, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, it's not a Ssekikubo motion. It carries members of Parliament of this Honourable House and the general public. They are anxiously awaiting the outcome of the petition, Right Honourable Speaker. And therefore I seek your indulgence so that we can get guidance from you on how we are proceeding, knowing that the days are fast elapsing. The last day, as we count the 14 days, should be Monday. And today is the Thursday, Right Honourable Speaker. May we be guided by your office, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Ssekikubo. I can say, indeed, you went on a countdown and seems to be getting quicker. Tomorrow you will get guidance, Honourable Ssekikubo. Okay? Yeah. We are still within 14 days. And I don't know, people interpret differently. Some can argue the 14 days don't include weekends. Others argue they include weekends. But we shall ensure we play within the rules. I can promise you that. We must play within the rules. And we can't go outside the rules. So, yes.
Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I raised on a point of procedure. As you might be aware, Right Honourable Speaker, I'm a lead petitioner of 186 members of this House, your House, who appended their signatures for the motion. Right Honourable Speaker, the motion was duly submitted through the clerk. A notice was issued, and according to the rules, at that point, it was self-executing, so that within 14 days, that matter could be on the order paper, and then it would be for the debate. We came to know of certain interventions. I rose on procedure, Honourable. I rose on procedure. I rose on procedure.
It is okay. You'll respond to what he says. Let him continue the procedure. You'll respond.
And I didn't expect Honourable Salirwa to jump up as well. Right Honourable Speaker, after the mandatory 14 days, we were made to know that there are certain interventions that happened where some individuals went to court. And indeed, a copy of the ruling was made available. However, the procedural point we are raising, Right Honourable Speaker, in the correspondences that followed, we requested as petitioners to sever the areas that were considered res judicata. On top of that, Right Honourable Speaker, we expected that the matter would be placed on the order paper, so that you may rule against us. We don't say that we must win this, but the matter had to be captured by the Hansard and put on the order paper. Then you make a ruling, And Right Honourable Speaker, you can only rule while you are in chair, because that's where you derive your mandate over this August House. Right Honourable Speaker, the procedure point I'm raising is that having gone through all that, and a third of your members, even if they are unreasonable, even if they did not understand much, but there is a point of concern about corruption. They wanted that matter debated by this House. They wanted to have opportunity to remove the commissioners. On other grounds, leave alone the service award. On other grounds, misconduct is part of it. You have misbehavior, part of it. Incompetence, part of it. Irregular recruitment, part of it. And indeed, you have other matters that we took consideration of that involve...
Can you finish?
Yes, that was involving having fictitious trips made by some of the members of this House. Right, Honourable Speaker, are we procedural right for us to receive a letter purportedly giving a ruling, yet you've never sat in the chair, the matter has never been cause listed or put on the order paper, so that you rule on a matter which is captured by the Hansard? This matter was competently supported and supported by members of this House.
Okay, you're finished.
Are we proceeding right for us to receive a correspondence purporting to be a ruling, yet we know you've never sat in the chair, to have the matter on the order paper, to have it captured by the Hansard, and even if at that point you rule against the motion, it would be fine. But this has never been, and therefore, what ruling was being made and on what?
Okay.
Is the matter I want to raise.
You're finished. Honourable.
Right, Honourable Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Minister for giving way. I'm rising basically on two issues under procedure. One, Right, Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Minister is referring to the red lines, the boundaries, which we are not able to see, ending up talking to herself. Number two, Right, Honourable Speaker, this matter falls under the ambit of Kampala Capital City Authority, not the general disaster the country might have. Kampala Capital City Authority was created with the ministry with a specialized function for the city, which shouldn't be mixed up. And that was the genesis of creating Kampala Capital City Authority. And the Honourable Minister in charge is right seated here. And because of the unique aspect, that's how Kampala Capital City Authority was created. And now, once the minister herself is here, Right Honourable Speaker, who has the innate workings of the city, for whom we should be pointing fingers. So far 23 bodies have been recovered. And now we are talking about 25, a calamity of such huge proportions, and it is being casually handled before this House. So is the Honourable Minister procedure right, and government, to continue handling this matter in the most casual manner, and also to shield away the responsible minister?
Thank you.
Who is always rare, but she's now here. She's here to answer to this, and she's being kept in the background. Are we proceeding properly, Right Honourable Speaker?
Thank you. Now, honourable colleagues, if you listen to me earlier on, at the beginning I said the Right Honourable Prime Minister called me in the morning. And she told me she's the one the President and government have assigned the issue of Kitte's January, whereby the most important aspect as we talk of now has been the quick response of helping the people who have died, those who are distressed, those who are sick, before going on to the blame game of who didn't do what. The most important aspect has been to save whatever we can. Okay? And the Prime Minister is the coordinator of all ministers. So the Prime Minister, in fact, we discussed that same issue on Ssekikubo. We discussed me and her in detail. And she said, no, both I'll come myself. Then at the last minute she called me. she's still holding an emergency meeting with finance on raising funds to help on this same issue. Then she said, I have assigned my Minister for Disaster to present on my behalf. But the Minister for KCCA will be in case there are questions which fall under KCCA, or if she feels she can hand on some critical information, she'll be given an opportunity. So we are proceeding very well, Honorable colleagues.
Very much, Right Honorable Speaker and members. Right Honorable Speaker, as a law student and a practitioner, the basic principle we are taught and we learn and we practice is that judgments of court, particularly the Supreme Court, are judgments in rem. They are not in personam. Meaning that all must abide not only the Attorney General, but the constitutional order in the country must listen and adhere. So, number two, the Land Attorney General, Right Honorable Speaker, did his best when he made arguments before the Supreme Court. He did his best. That is the best he could offer. Now for this House to demand and to expect a better alternative from him, I think would be too much. That is the best he could offer. He stayed the Constitutional Court order. He ran to the Supreme Court, prepared himself, robed himself, got all his entourage with wheels and cattle. He proceeded to the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, he couldn't do better than he did in the Constitutional Court.
What is the
to that regard, Right Honorable Speaker,
I need the procedure matter.
Yes, for this House to expect a procedural guidance from the Land Attorney General, when he had failed to convince the 7 justices of the Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker, sir, would be a big disservice, not only to this country, but to Parliament. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, I listened in very well. Once you talk about the Constitution, it is the paramount and the fundamental law we have. In his statement, I heard him say that the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecutions, should liaise with the General Court Martial to get files and process those files. Right, Honorable Speaker, for purposes of record and the Hansard of this House, Article 120 of the Constitution is the Director of Public Prosecutions. And Clause 6 states, in the exercise of the functions conferred on him or her by this article, the Director of Public Prosecutions shall not be subject to the direction or control of any person or authority. By the Land Attorney General telling the DPP to go and liaise with the General Court Martial is in total breach of this Constitution. And I would therefore like to say that his guidance, even now, is continuing to offend this Constitution. And therefore, I would pray that we give him leave so that he can rest, he can think about the events of this country, he can choose whether he wants to take the country the constitutional path or he wants to take this country in the dark times, and without any delay, comply with the Constitution, with the Supreme Court orders, and release these persons detained, so that now the country can breathe a sigh of relief. Without that, whatever explanation is taking and talking about, he's wasting the time of this House and is continuing to agonize the constitutional order of this country. And I pray that Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Now, just wait, Attorney General. Just wait. Yeah. Honorable, now, to begin with, I think we had started well, appreciating each other, both sides, in terms of the swift action that the Attorney General had taken. He told you immediately how he moved. Even on Sunday he was working, even yesterday he was working. So I think that was in the right direction. Now, where we are disagreeing is the content of what maybe he has written and what he has not written. And when I was listening on the issue of the DPP, and I would want it to be very clear, I heard you using the word I advise. I heard it several times. I advised. So meaning if the DPP still has a discretion of taking the advice or not taking it. So that's what I was hearing. I think, honorable colleagues, also when we say the Attorney General has guided the House wrong or what, we are not making any resolution on this matter. I asked the Attorney General to give us an update. This is a matter which has been settled by court. We cannot reopen it here. We just needed an update on how far he has reached in as far as implementing the court order is concerned, because, honorable colleagues, we are raising this issue. We don't expect any other any other decision here that is going to override the decision of the Supreme Court. Attorney General, allow me to pick Honorable Okror.